first Grand Slam track meet is officially over, and if you paid any attention at all to the men's short sprints, then you should have noticed Kung Fu Kenny Bednarek, because he dominated the field, winning both the 100 and the 200. And he left no doubt that at this moment on the calendar, he is the best sprinter in the world. And I know what you're thinking, it's only the month of April, so allow me to go over the facts right out the gate, because at the Grand Slam meet alone, he beat Oblique Seville, Jarnell Hughes, and Fred Curley. Every single man on that list has either a World Championship medal, an Olympic medal, or have made multiple World/Olympic finals over the past 3 years. And beyond that, most people don't even remember just how great he actually is. Because if you go all the way back to 2021, he had the silver medal in the Olympics for the 200. When you fast forward to 2024, he did the exact same thing again. He also got a silver medal in 2022. The only time he didn't get one was 2023. He still made the 200-meter world final and beat some people while he was there, although he was hurt throughout that entire season. The only thing that people have to say about him that perhaps is a legitimate knock is Kenny Bednarek doesn't have a gold medal in any world level meet, at least not yet. And every single time that he got the silver, it was a different man who beat him out to get the gold. He is the only constant on the world stage in the men's 200 between then and now. And after his 2 victories at Grand Slam Jamaica, he was asked, are there any athletes in the world who you would like to see show up on the line as a challenger at the next slam? And he made it very clear. Noah Lyles and Erriyon Knighton, it's time to come out to play. So let's talk about it, because Grand Slam track is here. And as far as I can tell, they are not going anywhere. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. They have built a professional sparring ring where the best athletes in the world, if you really think you are the best, you can step into the ring now. And you get to throw hands. Just be clear that somebody's gonna get knocked out. And if you're not careful, it just might be you. But Kung Fu Kenny came to play. He took care of business in the first slam. We know he's coming back for the second one. The only race that was really even up for debate was the 100, which he did win by 100th of a second. I've gone on record to say that the 200 was clearly going to him before that gun went off. Who's winning the 200? Say it with me.
It's Kenny B.
All right then. So
it's easily.
The only discussion we're having is who's second. At this very moment, the track community has absolutely no promises that Noah or Erriyon will ever show up in a Grand Slam meet this season. But now that the call has been put out, well, we are waiting. Because Kenny Bednarek is the reigning Slam champion. I don't see anybody coming to change that, because the 200 we've already established is a lock, unless you're on the very short list of men who have ever proven you can beat him at that distance in a race that actually matters. And as far as I'm concerned going forward, all of the slams actually matter, and they will make a difference for your bank account. When it comes to Noah Lyles, he has publicly spoken about Grand Slam on the Beyond the Records podcast. He gave his opinions about the league and what he wants to see before he might sign on. But fundamentally speaking, if you look at Noah Lyles' report, like his career up until this moment, he has not shown us that he is afraid to compete. For that matter, there were many times he went out there when winning was probably not going to happen. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. The only reason people said that Noah Lyles wasn't a 100 guy is because they weren't used to seeing him in the front of the race. It wasn't because he wasn't running the 100, because he's been running that race since he was a junior. For that matter, he was a world junior champion if you go all the way back to 2016. So, hey, that whole narrative that he's a 200 guy, I don't want to hear it. That's just lies. The thing is, he wasn't always in the front of the race. And if you focus on his 60-meter dash times, he really wasn't in the front of the race. But he kept showing up, running indoors, and clawed his way all the way to a silver medal at the Worlds. But that's only after losing to the current world record holder in that event. So I guess you gotta give him a pass on that. Either way, Noah has not stepped to the line yet in Grand Slam. But now that the entire track community knows what the slams are about, we are waiting. Because Kenny Bednarek is one of the only men in the past few years who knows he can beat Noah Lyles across 200. Because he's done it multiple times in races that actually matter. And he's actually a whole lot closer to him in the 100 than anybody wants to give him credit for. Because when they opened their seasons last year, I was there live at the Tom Jones Memorial. Noah Lyles got the victory in the 100 by 1/100th of a second. Not even. I think they went down to the thousandth when they looked at the results. But Kenny Bednarek was in second. And they go to the Olympic trials. Once again, Kenny Bednarek was in second, and the margin of victory was still incredibly small, less than 5/100th of a second. The only time that the margin got pretty wide, I guess you could call it wide, was during the Olympic final. Because without looking at the results, Kenny Bednarek was probably about 1/10th of a second off of where Noah Lyles finished at 9.79 seconds. And he knows that he definitely didn't run his best race in that final. But when you move over to Erriyon Knighton, it becomes a much more unique conversation. Because Erriyon Knighton really doesn't run the 100 at all. The only time I've ever seen him run it since the time he turned professional, and remember, he turned pro out of high school, was basically in meets that mean absolutely nothing. We're talking about like LSU Twilight meets or something like that. Like nothing that's official in the Diamond League or anything you might even see on the Continental Tour. Again, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Somebody can fact check me in the comments. And in 2021, 2022, and 2024, Erriyon Knighton was there. And he lost to Kenny Bednarek across 200. So if we talk about the 100 and the 200, who you think is going to win that battle if we're going off a prior performance? I am not saying that Erriyon Knighton is scared to come to the line. What I am saying is that he doesn't come to the line anywhere near as often as we might want to see him do it. And when he does come, he really only does it in his best event. The way the slams break down, you don't just have to run fast anymore. As a professional, you're being asked to run fast and then run fast again. Specifically, in a competitive environment where it's me versus you. In 2025, the last time we saw either of these men compete in a race that was supposed to mean anything at all were as follows. Because Noah Lyles ran at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. He won his 60 prelim and won his 60 final. I mean, hey, he did take care of business in a field that was, I guess about as competitive as what we would have seen in the Challenger pile at Grand Slam, but it's not exactly what Grand Slam was, because none of the men who showed up in Jamaica as racers were actually on the line for that meet. And when you move over to Erriyon Knighton, the last time we saw him was at a World Indoor Tour event running the 200. They basically set the stage for him to win the meet. Everything was designed for him to win, but he didn't. Technically he won his section, but they run in an A and a B section, and somebody from the other section ran an even faster time. Let's be clear, that was not supposed to happen. I totally understand that up until this point, we've been living in a professional track and field world that really wasn't a pro track and field world at all, if we just listen to what Noah Lyles had to say about it. The way we've been doing the sport, it's been an amateur sport. It's an amateur sport with professional athletes in it, but it's still an amateur sport. Once again, these are not my words, the pros said it themselves. Keep in mind that dozens upon dozens of college athletes show up to the World Championships. On top of the fact that junior athletes also show up there, or for that matter, even at the Olympics. So when you're watching that stage and they tell you it's the fastest athletes in the world, that is not 100% of accurate, because if you happen to compete for the wrong nation, like America, you can end up not getting a spot in the games, or for even that matter, the worlds. And hey, somebody who's nowhere near as fast as you is going to be on that starting line. But fortunately, Grand Slam don't care about any of that. If you are a pro, and you believe you're one of the best, and you get the phone call to show up in a slam, it's your choice. Do you want to step into the ring? And if you do, you get to throw hands and show us just how great you actually are. So in a sprinting world where people love to argue now about who is officially the world's fastest man, whether you want to give it to Usain Bolt from his prior career, you want to give it to Noah Lyles because he won the 100 at the Olympics, or even if you want to give it to Kashane Thompson because he ran a world-leading time, even if he didn't win the world's biggest race during that same year. Grand Slam track put an end to all that, because they made a league and invited only the fastest. And they give you races to go out there and prove just how fast you are. So going forward, if you're asking me, if you want to call yourself the world's fastest man, regardless of who you are or where you come from, there's one stage where you're gonna have to come out and play and prove it. One race at a time. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.